Leaders at Flat Rock Elementary say they're hoping for amazing attendance all year long. If you've been to downtown Clemson recently, then you may have noticed the sign here that warns of new changes to parking. Anderson County voter registration says they mailed out a duplicate absentee ballot to some voters on accident, and they're working around the clock to fix their mistake. In my hands is a life jacket. There are also several more behind me. You can find these here at McFalls Landing in Anderson County. The Fort Hill Plantation House here at Clemson University was filled with community members celebrating Juneteenth. Right now, downtown Anderson is a ghost town, but Friday and Saturday, the city says they expect several thousand people to fill Main Street. In an effort to crack down on fake IDs, several bars in the Clemson area are using IntelliCheck straight from their phones. The Anderson County Coroner's Office says 10-year-old Dylan Patel was shot at his home on Fox Creek Road. I'm here on Amber Drive, where South Carolina Highway Patrol says a student and parent were hit by a school bus during pickup. We've seen a lot of storm damage here in Anderson, especially downtown. Even shops had to hold off on opening their doors for a few hours. From playgrounds to ball fields, the city of Clemson says they're swinging into action to upgrade each of their 15 parks one way or another. I'm here outside of Tiahana High School. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office says a student brought a handgun into the school today. Deputies say the student walked through the school's Evolve system. I'm here where Tommy Blankenship had his watch party with family and friends, all in support of him. All day I've been covering the race for Pickens County Sheriff. In about 48 hours, the Anderson Civic Center is going to look completely different for its first ever Rock the Country music tour. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office says they got a call at 6:45 this morning about a woman who was shot multiple times in Piedmont. Leaders at Flat Rock Elementary say they're hoping for amazing attendance all year long. After teachers take attendance every morning, Principal Christy Dodd walks through the halls to hand out rubber flamingos.
We decided that we wanted to focus on student attendance this year. Every teacher has a board outside of his or her room, and on that board daily, the teacher writes the number of children who are present, the number of children who are supposed to be in the classroom, and then the percentage of children who are present at school.
Principal Dodd says the school's chronic absenteeism rates increased last year.
If a child misses 10% of the school year, they are considered to be chronically absent. Truancy is different. When a child misses 3 consecutive unexcused days, they're considered truant. When you think about it, if a child is chronically absent, they've missed at least 18 school days for the entire year. That's a lot.
For the past 2 weeks, we're told the daily attendance average is 95%. If the class meets that average, they receive a duck.
For our K4 and K5 students, they don't really understand what those numbers mean, but they know when our principal, Miss Dodd, comes around and they get a pink flamingo, all of their friends are here today in their class, and it's something to celebrate.
To celebrate, the class in each hallway with the most ducks by the end of the month wins a prize.
They really want to get their flamingo out there, and I feel like they go home and they're like, no, I need to be at school tomorrow so I can get my flamingo. That has to be the difference.
Leaders say regular school attendance is one of the biggest predictors of student success.
So not only is it important for them to show up so they can learn, of course, but when they show up to school, they see their friends, they see their teachers, they get lots of social interaction, and we know they're getting fed a healthy meal every single day.
We committed to doing this for the year, and if it works, we'll continue it in the future.
In Anderson County, Eriana Meadows, 7 News.
Hundreds of cyclists started here at Heritage Park for their 257-mile ride to end Alzheimer's.
According to the South Carolina Alzheimer's Association, more than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's.
And here in South Carolina, that's over 112,000 people, and that is only those 65 plus, and it's not counting other types of dementia. So the numbers are huge.
Cyclists wore names on their back to honor their loved ones. That includes Scott Rourke, who started the Ride to End Alz 16 years ago to remember his mother.
She got sick. We noticed something was wrong, and then she got worse and worse, and my dad was great. He kept her home for 16 years, and she died in the house in her own bed. But about halfway through that, I said I'd need to do something to honor my mother, and riding a bike was something I could do.
Organizers say their goal is to raise $1.5 million to support local programs, nationwide research, and the 24-hour helpline.
All of this pushing towards letting more families know that they are not alone, that help is available through the association no matter what type of dementia you're facing, and that we are working together to find better treatments and ultimately a cure.
We have FDA approval for a new drug coming out for Alzheimer's patients that will slow down that, and it's ever increasing each and every year.
We're told cyclists will ride to Newberry tonight, Orangeburg tomorrow, and end in Mount Pleasant Sunday.
It's 3 days of, it's hard and it's hot, and we did that for a purpose, that it needs to be hot. It needs to be hard because living with Alzheimer's is hard.
Along the way, officers will escort bikers. Before they started their 257-mile journey, cyclists paid tribute to the Why I Ride wall.
And it's just one more way that we keep the mission of the Alzheimer's Association front and center. Really, the heart of this event is doing something to fight back against a disease that takes too many people.
Organizers say registration for the virtual challenge is free and will remain open until the end of July. To learn how you can register and donate, visit our website at WSPA.com. In Simpsonville, Eriana Meadows, 7 News. 25 tons of glass are stored here at the Pickens County landfill every month. That's according to the solid waste director. He says thanks to their glass pulverizer, there are now more ways to put glass to use. Solid waste director Steve Raines tells us the demand for glass recyclables has decreased, which means fewer vendors are purchasing it.
The market's just not conducive for glass right now, and it was costing us a lot of money to have it taken out of here when we could get people to pick it up.
Recently, the Solid Waste Department received a $34,000 grant to buy a glass pulverizer. The new equipment crushes the glass into quarter-inch size sand.
We're hoping to be able to use this sand in the landfill. It's not massive quantities of it, but it'll be enough for us to be able to recycle some of this glass and be able to use it in our landfill to fill in ruts in our gravel roads on the property.
Rain says that's just the start.
We're also looking at some other things. We've got a collaborative project going on within the county right now. They're looking at a couple of areas that we have some flooding issues, and we're looking at using this sand material in some continuous sandbags to try to mitigate some of this flooding. And we've got a couple of other things that we're looking at as well to be able to use this sand in to help with our emergency services and a few other places.
He says the goal is to encourage residents to find ways to reuse glass at home. But if it does end up here, the Solid Waste Department says they are trying to cut back on costs for taxpayers.
We want to recycle, we want to do the right thing, but we want to be able to do it at net zero or at a profit to the taxpayers. There's a purpose for it. We just got to realize it, and that'll come in time. So we're just looking at all the alternatives we can, and if this works out, in time we may be able to find other grants to find a bigger product.
Starting Monday, September 9th, glass recyclables will only be accepted here at the Pickens County landfill in order to concentrate the Solid Waste Department's sustainability efforts. In Pickens County, Eriana Meadows, 7 News.